Hey everyone, happy Saturday. Hope everyone's weekend is going good. It is time for another episode of Day in Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. So, putting in a partial day today here, and one important thing that happened is this little, I guess we'll call it a mini project, came in, and I'll go over that at the end, the relatively short list of things we're going to be doing to it. But before that, let me talk about kind of the main things I did today. So, if you follow the channel, you know that I was working on replacing the felt channels on this cowlick bug that we finished up a few months ago with some high quality ones that we got from CW Moss. You can look them up. They're in here in Old Town Orange. So they're like an old school hot rod shop. I think mostly like Model A's. Well, not necessarily just hot rods, stock and hot rods, I guess, Model A's and so on. But anyway, so yeah, I went down there and they had some really nice felt channels. I talked about it on yesterday's episode. You can watch that if you're interested. But anyway, so I installed those and finished up the driver's side today. Pretty much just had to tighten everything up, put the door panel on, double check that everything was working good. And then he had a rattle in the door that I took care of. It was actually the rod for this, even though I did have something there to dampen it. The spring in his handle, which kind of keeps tension on it, was broken, and so that was letting the rod kind of flop around in there. So I actually added a piece of foam there that the rod is kind of compressing, and then that stabilizes the rod and keeps it from making sounds when you tap the door or whatever. So yeah, this door should be much quieter, and more importantly, now the felt channels look amazing, if I do say so myself. So super happy to find those from those guys. The passenger side one, I think I got it all adjusted and everything where I'm pretty happy with it. I had to re-glue his lift channel, which is the metal channel at the bottom that the window mounts to, and then in turn the lift channel mounts to the regulator. Had to re-glue that. It was kind of working loose, but I'm pretty sure I got everything adjusted, but I want to let that glue get good and dry, so I'll finish that door up on Monday. But as far as I know, everything's working great with the new felt channel. So did that, and then he mentioned that on this seat, I think the owner is having a lot of fun with his car. I think he's like driving people around in it and stuff. But he mentioned access to the back seat, like the seat release here wasn't really working, and he was having trouble getting back. I don't know, maybe he was just putting stuff back there. I have a feeling he might have been putting people back there to like ride around his neighborhood or something, which is super cool. But anyway, regardless of why he was trying to get back there, the mechanism down there wasn't really releasing when you would pull up the lever, and it turns out just part of the mechanism in there was bent, so I got in there and kind of straightened it out so that when you pull this up, there's like a little paw in there that releases the latch. Anyway, long story short, it was bent a little. I mean, these seats are well over 50 years old, so, and who knows what kind of abuse they've suffered over the years. So yeah, straighten that out for him. So release mechanism works great now. And I think that's pretty much what I did on this car today. This one, sadly, not much to do here because I'm still waiting on the hardware for the case halves. So hopefully Monday. Come on, zinc plater guys. But what I did do is, since I got the fourth cylinder back from Clyde Berg, he was done with it as far as like fitting it on the heads. I did go ahead and sized his rings to the cylinder, put in, it ended up being like a 13 thou gap, 4 thou per inch of bore is kind of the rule of thumb for like a mild performance motor. So yeah, set those, and then I went ahead and cleaned these up and masked them off and painted them with some high quality, high temperature paint. So they look bitchin', and other than I need to do like the final scrubbing of the inside of these and then coat them with the secret sauce that I use, which I'm not gonna tell you guys what that is because I got it from a well-known racer and he told me, but I don't know that he necessarily wants that trick shared, so sorry to be a tease, but I'll clean these up. So cleaning them, as you guys know who probably built motors, kind of the standard is to just take some Ajax, like literally the stuff you clean your toilet with, and just get some wet even on your hands or on a rag or on a paper towel and just kind of scrub the inside with that. Pretty much what you want to do is any stuff that's left over from the honing process, you want to get it out of those hone marks so that they can actually kind of bite into the rings, versus if all the hone marks are kind of filled up with, you know, material off the hone and material that was removed from the metal, and you don't really have that roughness in there, then the rings won't really break in. So again, you just want to get them all spotless as far as not having any, you know, residue, or for lack of a better word, down in the hatch marks that you get from honing it. So anyway, yeah, they need their final cleaning, and then I need to coat them with the stuff that I'm going to coat them with. And then, yeah, so those are pretty much ready to go on if I can ever get my damn hardware and get the rest of this thing together. So hopefully early next week. So that's it for this one, which, if you're new here, is for that one, 54 barn door, 1500cc, 36 horse with a bunch of cool stuff on it. That takes us to this one. So this car came in today. It is a 65 Beetle with a lot of like pretty tasteful custom stuff going on. The paint is super cool. It's orange, obviously, duh, but it's got a little bit of pearl in it. Not too much, but just a little. So it's kind of a fun color. I like it. And yeah, it's on some MP5 spokes, and yeah, just a good looking overall car. Shaved front turn signals, and he's got some little Lucas style indicators there. I used to run those back in the day. Yeah, so let's walk around the back of this thing and take a look here. There we go. Oops. Oh, geez. I didn't know I didn't have a spring on there. I may have to put a spring on there for him. Anyway, so yeah, 1776 motor. I don't really know much about the specs per se, but it sounds really good. And I think it's got an A1 exhaust up underneath there. Dual IDF or IDF style carburetors. Don't know what size they are. Probably 40s since this is a 1776, but who knows. But it runs good. The guy says it's a quick little car, and I don't doubt it. It's probably, it's probably like a 80, 90 horsepower motor easy, which is double plus what this car came with. A 65 would have had a 40 horse in it still. So even if this has 80, which I wouldn't be surprised if it has more, that's double right there what it came with. But yeah, so as far as what I'm going to be doing, just a tune up here. So I'll sync his carbs, change his oil, adjust his valves, check his timing, nothing too crazy back here. Again, it's running good. He just wants it tuned up and oil change and all that good stuff. Kind of the main thing that he brought it in for is on the front of the car here. So it's got these like ridiculously low profile tires. They're basically rubber bands stretched around the wheels. They're like 45 series. Yeah, so they're 165 45s. I mean, there's like zero sidewall there at all. And owing to the tires, and I don't know what else is going on here, but the car is super low. And the interesting thing is, when he brought the car in for me to look at, which was, I don't know, maybe a week and a half ago, I couldn't see any signs of anything lowering the front end. It doesn't appear, at least when I looked under it previously, I didn't look like it had drop spindles on it. I didn't see any adjusters on the front beam. I didn't see any evidence that the beam had been cut and turned, which is literally when you cut the mounting for the springs in it, and then you rotate that part of the beam, and then you weld it, cut and turn. I don't know if anyone does that anymore. Most people just put adjusters in. But anyway, I saw no evidence of how this front end was lowered, which leads me to believe that somebody probably just started like pulling leaf springs out of the leaf spring packs on the two tubes here that support the suspension, And so I'm guessing that's how it's lowered, is yanking out leaves from the torsion leaves. So I don't see any evidence elsewise of how it's lowered. So he doesn't want it this low. He wants it like more stock-ish looking. I think the back may be lowered a tiny bit. And so, and also, of course, if I didn't mention it, he doesn't want these like super skinny profile tires on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a stock width adjustable front beam and swap it on there. And then I'm going to get maybe stock size tires for the front, or maybe something just like a hair shorter as far as the sidewall is concerned. And then, you know, trying again more or less like level the car out for him, maybe nose down a little bit, not this much, you know, again, where the car is like scraping on everything. And I'm sure it rides terrible with these tires that have zero, you know, sidewall, and plus whatever's going on with the front suspension, probably having a lot of the leaf springs or torsion leaves yanked out. So yeah, it should ride much better and be much more enjoyable for him. Again, not having the front end so low that he's like scraping on everything. And again, he wants a more stock-ish look. Of course, obviously it's going to have the wheels on it, and car has little custom touches on it and stuff. But yeah, he just doesn't want the front of it slammed like this. So that's kind of the main thing he's bringing it in for, is do something with the front end here, including the tires. And then yeah, the tune-up. It's got, here, let's take a look inside the car. Kind of like a velour interior, which is pretty nice. I mean, it's a little 80s looking, but nothing wrong with that. I'm looking at you there, 80s cowlick bug. It's got a giant monster tack on it, which he has no interest in, so he asked me to go ahead and take that out. And then pretty cool stereo, also super 80s looking. I don't know, this kind of looks like one of the ones that the faceplate may come off. Oh yeah, look at that. How do you get this thing off all the way? There it goes. You guys remember these? I thought I was so cool when I first got a radio like this, and I would like put this thing in my pocket and walk around like I was just the most badass guy ever. So this is cool. I haven't seen one of these actually in ages. They are freaking awesome. He wants to be able to charge his cell phone. There is a cigarette lighter in here that doesn't work, so I need to figure out electrically what's going on here, and then I'll just get him one of those little, you know, 2-port things that go into the cigarette lighter. He can charge his phone or whatever. So yeah, get rid of this, fix this. Obviously I'll have to do an alignment after I swap his front end out. I think that's pretty much it. There might have been some other small things he wanted me to do, but those are kind of the major things. Again, major being really like the front end of the car, including tires and then a tune-up and then some other odds and ends. So yeah, cool looking car, super nice guy, and we'll try and get it back to him here soon-ish. We're pretty busy with all these other projects, but I told him maybe a couple weeks. And then I do have another project coming in that belongs to a viewer, and I won't say who it is, but he is bringing his car in on Monday. So Monday I'll have yet another mini project to introduce to you guys. So that is it. Excuse me. That is it for today. That is it for this week. It's a little after 3 on Saturday. I'm going to go home and do paperwork, and then try and take tomorrow off. We'll see if that actually happens or not, but that's the intention anyway. And last night we went to Disneyland after I left the shop, so that was kind of fun. But anyway, that is it, guys. So thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.